S&N Motorsports. Here we are today on a 2019 Benelli TNT 600cc sport bike. MSRP is at $5,999. So at a real good fair price point for an entry-level motorcycle. Nice beefy suspension on this thing. Awesome craftsmanship. The gauge readout's really nice. Shows you a fuel gauge, which most Japanese manufacturers don't give you a fuel gauge, so that's a nice little touch. Great braking system, floating disc brakes. I believe each caliper is twin piston. This bike has an undertailed exhaust, which I think is a really nice feature. Let's test out the speed on it. It gets to 70 pretty good. The transmission is real smooth. Real impressed by that. It shifts really nicely. The sitting stance is very comfortable as well. A nice upright sit. Posture feels really good. I don't feel any fatigue or any, pressure points being touched as far as your wrists and everything like that. I gotta give it to Benelli though. I mean, the response of this vehicle is on point. It shifts really nice. Throttle is real responsive. Not to mention, this thing comes with Pirelli tires right out the factory. Are already on it. How neat is that? There's a nice turn over here, which we really get to see how this thing feels. I'm gonna go down into third gear here for this turn. This is a nice turn here. Let's give it a good little nice. Feels good. Suspension's really nice too. I mean, going over those bumps, it wasn't terrible. Honestly, I compare this thing to like a Ninja 650 Versys 650. Pretty much the same bike, it feels, as far as riding it. If I put a Kawasaki badge on this thing, I would think I'd be driving that motorcycle. The transmission is smooth. I can't believe the price of this motorcycle, what you're getting for it. I'm legit braking using just my middle finger. And I'm able to control it that well. That's how nice this brake is. The master cylinder is doing a pretty damn good job. Another really key feature I want to point out to you is, we're in Southwest Florida. It's hot. I mean, we're in May right now. It's warm. I mean, it's probably like 80 degrees out right now. The fact of that is this bike is only running at about 190 degrees right now, and I'm not feeling a lot of that hot heat coming off the radiator, coming off the bike, that you would normally get on a lot of other bikes. And, that's just a really nice thing to have. I just feel real comfortable on this thing. I know as far as a 600cc motorcycle, the horsepower rating isn't the highest. But then again, you kind of get what you pay for in that sense. Well, that's kind of nice. So on the downshift, it puts it in a neutral really smooth. And a lot of times you might have a hard time, difficulty finding neutral in certain bikes. That's really nice. Acceleration's nice, especially for someone this is going to be like their first motorcycle, haven't rode a lot. It's not a ridiculous amount of torque on the acceleration to where it could be a little overwhelming for a new rider. You got a nice reading here for your turn signals, neutral, oil light, high beam. This one you really don't have to really whip it around much. I mean, it kind of goes where you want it to, just subtle movements. So, you know, on a nice good left turn, you don't really have to dip it low. I'm honestly trying to find some negatives on this thing right now, but every time I think of a negative, I'm just kind of looking at the price of it. Coming from riding a lot of sport bikes, you know, 750 GSX-Rs, you know, leader bikes, things like that nature, you're used to a certain power, you know. When you get in that power band, you just have that snappiness. I don't expect that from this machine. I didn't expect that before riding it. You know, I didn't think it was going to be the fastest machine in the world, you know, especially being a 600 class. Last but not least, we're going to go on the highway. See how the wind feels. You know what? It's not terrible. This thing is hanging pretty good. I'm sitting about 7,500 RPMs, which 600 class, when you're running at this speed, I mean, that's pretty much where you're going to be at, you know. Balance is real nice too, you know. Usually, like in a lot of standard sports, you feel a lot of weight right here, so when you're doing a turn, you kind of have to work with it a little bit, you know. You kind of have to muscle it. I don't really have to do that much on this machine. I really don't. Also, the foot pegs are in a real good position. It doesn't, you know, my legs are in a good spot. I mean, I'm only 5'8", so I'm not the biggest dude in the world by any means. I would still give it a skill set needed for this bike. I would put it right at that beginner novice rating. You know, excellent machine. Again, it's not overwhelming. It's not a ridiculous motorcycle. It's a good cruise, which I think that's what most people want.